Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Cold. We made it through this morning, and yesterday morning is the first time I woke up with snow on the ground in Ramadan. But I'm happy to be here with you guys again for the second virtual Iftar nights of 2021, brought to you by MABELLEarts in collaboration with the community. Anybody on YouTube, can I get some fire emojis? You already know what we're working with. I'm so excited to be here the second time around. And before we go any further, I would just like to acknowledge that this live stream, and most of us in this live stream are located on the northern shore of Lake Ontario in the city of Toronto, which comes from the Kanien'kehá:ka word Toronto, which is where there are trees in the waters. So I'd begin with thanking the indigenous people who have been taking care of this land, trees, waters for thousands of years, the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, the Chippewa, the Huron-Wendat First Nations, and the current treaty holders, the Mississaugas Credit First Nations. We want to acknowledge and recognize that we are guests, and we thank them for witnessing our footprints here. So we have a great night set up for you guys. Just to remind you guys, if you want to share this, you can go on virtualiftarnights.ca, share the website. There you can find additional content and coloring, different ways to interact with us this week. So the theme that we're working with that's kind of grounding us this week is memories of Iftar. I'm making a new memory today because I've never worn my parka or seen snow during Ramadan. But memories of Iftar is about the things that make Iftar important for you, whether it's conversations you have that only happen during Ramadan, or interactions with your family or community that kind of change or feel heightened, and what sticks after so many Ramadans. What do we hold on to? And I remember my first couple of Ramadans just being at the mosque, everybody sharing food in such a selfless way, everybody gathering around God, and the remembrance of God is really something that I'm never going to forget, and something that I keep repeating over and over. So I hope to share some of these wonderful moments with you today. Now, of course, I'm not alone. I got my team. Okay, so I want to introduce you to my team, and this time we're going to be doing it a little bit different. So can I get the boxes up on the screen? There we go. Can I get any Rollins? Yes. Can I get Maryem Tollar? Yes, yes. Can I get Afsaneh? Oh. Can I get Fatin? Oh, beautiful guys about it. Everybody's just appearing out of nowhere. We're just chilling, doing our regular thing in our regular lives. Can I get Brenna? Jeez. And is Leah and Michael in the house? Live from the park? Yes, they are. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Can we get a wave? We're going to have a great show. These people put so much hard work into bringing you the show and bringing this together, the sense of togetherness during this time. So thank you so much to everybody on this window. Now, to everybody watching who's not in the window, to everybody watching on YouTube, I already see people interacting, and I love it. And I just want to remind everybody that this is the thing, that this is how we can communicate. So before we go into some of the highlights of last week, because you guys did send in some of your Iftar tables, and it was amazing, very appetizing. Before we do that, I'm going to ask a question, and I'm going to ask for some answers. We'll come back to it. Just write down what your favorite memories of Iftar are. Could be a very simple sentence, could be a whole story. Whatever comes to mind, it makes you feel connected to this time, this month, or this celebration, or in your community. You don't have to be Muslim to celebrate in your community or celebrate spirituality. So throw up some memories there of Iftar. But first, we're going to do a little recap of last week. So I know we got some slides set up in this virtual setup here. I'm going to have the slides. There we go. Wow, this is Arima's Iftar table. Oh, that looks wonderful. Look at that. I like the tablecloth, the teal. Way to go. Then we got Abir's Iftar table. Man, that's a solid mirror. That's a solid meal. Thank you. That's hummus there, some sauces. Now we got Ahlam's Iftar table. So pretty. Look at that presentation. Look at the eggs. That looks delicious. Allah. Okay, what else we got? What else we got? Uh, Amal's Iftar table. Again with the tablecloths. You guys got great tablecloths. Amazing. Look at all the plates. You got a full table there. That middle plate, that showcase. That's so beautiful. Let's see what else. Atika's Iftar table. Beautiful. Look at the plating. Oh, these meals look so good. Thank you guys for sending these in. I want to, next time, take my email down, invite me to the iftar, Mona's iftar table. These dishes are so beautiful. Wow, I hope you guys really had great conversations. The food was appetizing. Rima's iftar table. Thank you, Rima, for sending this in. That looks like some lemonade, some limes in there. I wish I knew the names of these dishes, by the way, but I'm sure you at home are like, you can point them out and say them, making us hungry. Very nice. Thank you for sharing that. So I see that some of the people here on YouTube, Nura says beautiful. We got a big damn because it makes you hungry. I appreciate that, Taz. Yeah, we got, what else we got? Your table looks so good, making us hungrier. Very nice. Thank you, Gary. My favorite moment. Okay, now let's go into the favorite moments, right? My favorite moment is when me and my family gather to iftar and we sit around together and break our fast together. I mean, that's so many of our favorite moments for so many times in our lives. And just keep putting your answers there. Keep talking to each other as well on YouTube, because that's the thing there too. We want to feel like we're in this together. Tasmin, my favorite moments are right before we break fast, and there's lots of hustling and talking and waiting for the seconds before. It's true. It's almost like the time slows down, and everybody slows down and looks at the food differently in a much more intense way. Another favorite moment is when I used to go, Riman says, I used to go to the mosque with my family. That's such an important moment, going to the mosque. Like I said, me going to the mosque for the first couple of times, it was like I gained a new family, right? That's how it felt at the mosque. Nicolette, how you doing? Nicolette says, can I get a yum, yum? I wanna smell a vision. I want the smell of vision too. Thank you guys for sending that in. Keep on talking. Keep the dialogue going. Please. And you know what? I'm inside, so I'm going to take off my jacket. How about that? And to start today, I want to share a poem, okay? Because I like writing poems. And this poem really grounds me because it reminds me to be grateful and express gratitude, because, they say that your reality changes when you practice gratitude, and everything around you changes. So this poem is about that. Be delighted. As a commandment to those who chose to pose the question, to stifle all answers, be delighted. By the great shapes created by the weights of glaciers, creating spacious fields and mountains that yield the satisfaction of hunger in life. And with so much hunger in life, some wonder if life is worth living under the strife, seeking asylum under the knife. But the wondrous wife of mankind reminds us to stay delighted, so be delighted. As a commandment to those who suffer and agonize under the winds of ancient cycles, those who fell to their knees and wept the day everything and everyone they kept dear was swept away by the rising depth of majestic rivers, parting the seas as I flex my fingers, praising the dead as my thespa shivers, be delighted. As a commandment to those who chose to pose the question, to stifle all answers, be delighted. As a commandment to those who accumulate in accounts and tune to fate just to pounce on new markets and investments, to consume in excess, given into the temptress that is the five senses, given into reluctance when asked to borrow 10, when a person with none will give you one. So don't take the rich in vain or tie your judgment to chains or shame. For those rabid mobiles made room for those who manifest tears and actions of gold against the grain and train their smiles to stain their faces under the pain. Be delighted. As a commandment to those who put their love on layaway, grooming it for tomorrow, hoping it won't fade away. But what the young, pure, and crazy say is to live for the day. So much love, we give it away. Open arms to the suffering that comes with relinquishing control. So pray for reluctance, for what can never be promised, or submit to the service of and sincerity of today, and let our love be honest, be delighted. As a commandment to those who chose to pose the question, to stifle all answers, be delighted. As a commandment to a boy born under a warmer sun, a seed cultivated in tenderness, witness to maternal love as the softest embrace of a mother or the hardest pull of a trigger, forming a figure of love with some rigor. In wonder and awe, from where they dust you with hunger and bombs, lack of water and arms, to where your arms are exploited on migrant farms. Karma rings the alarm, and he wakes with dreams from afar. Tar in his lungs too thick to sing to the stars, forever the hybrid of peace and war. An immigrant looking suspect, repping a rough set up in the South Side, lecturing red and roughnecks, still broke, even if I cut checks, enough stress. Coffee beans and duffel bags often seem like best friends. When will the test end? Lone gunner, tipsy off Allah's blend, but I am delighted. For you, for I, for now, for tomorrow. For the light that I speak of is that limitless light of enlightenment that lights up the eternal light of this heart. So with this delight, this room, this chat, this live, this world could never be dark. Thank you. Oh yeah. If I don't mind, maybe a fire emojis for myself. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. No, I'm joking. Thank you so much for letting me share some of my poetry, right? From my heart to yours, from my home to yours. Now, my time in Mabel has been, very, I've met so many great people and heard so many great stories because I haven't been able to meet everybody given the circumstance. But we still want to bring kind of that feeling and that history into this live. So I'd like to invite a very special guest. She's somebody that I heard her name maybe 10 times before I actually got to meet her in so many different capacities. Maybe you may recognize her. Please, round of applause, hand clap emojis. If we can invite Fatin on my window. It's happening. There we are. Hi, Fatin.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. What a lovely poem. Like, I need to read it again and again.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. I wrote that poem when I was back home.
Yeah, where's home?
Home is in El Salvador.
El Salvador. Okay.
I'm sorry, you just have to hold on for 1 second because I'm getting a little bit of a delay that I'm not liking. I think we can hear each other better now. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you well.
This is perfect. Much better, Fatin. Yes, Fatin, I'm from El Salvador.
Oh.
And where are you from, Fatin?
I'm from Palestine.
Oh, Palestine. You know, Palestinians and Salvadorians have a rich history together.
Yes. We read about revolutionary history a lot.
I do read a lot about revolutionary history. And, the Palestinian history in my country is kind of reading about it really was one of the steps that I took to have Islam introduced to me. And when I learned of all the Palestinians that came to El Salvador in the early 1900s, and how they went on to become, we have a president right now that is Palestinian descendant. So there's a great.
I heard about it.
So Fatin,
to center myself.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. You're okay. So Fatin, I want to ask you. There's so much history around MABELLEarts, and this being the 10th year of Iftar nights, I wanted to ask you, what are some of your earliest memories of MABELLEarts?
So I came to Canada 2007, and we lived at Cordova. It's just on the corner of MABELLEarts or down the street. So and my son had like a theater invitation for Jumblies theater. So he went to Harborfront, and he came. He was so impressed, and I said I should go there, and the address was there. So I went there, and I went inside, and there were lots of people. It was maybe after some performance, and I met Leia for the first time. I think it was 2007, the end of the year. And I told her I live in the neighborhood and that I'm an artist. And so, yeah, next day I brought Leah some slides of my artwork. Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, and then she told me about the internship with the Jumblies, Arts for All. So I went there and I took the course, and then I did internship at MABELLEarts for around maybe a year, and then I started working with the seniors. Leah gave me this. So yeah.
And what did you do with the seniors?
So we had like this workshop about childhood games. So this was one of the workshops, and also we had some. They wanted to paint and draw, so like we did some painting and drawing, and it was really fun. Michael also helped a lot with these workshops. I was just new in Canada, so I needed help, and they like opened lots of opportunities for me. And then I stayed with MABELLEarts with many different activities in the garden, in the Mabel Park. And later on, Broad Acres Park, we had lots of activities with the Syrian refugees when they came.
Yeah.
Lots of history, many projects together.
Can I ask you, Fatin, what would you say your artistic practice is? Like, I know artist is a big word, but for other artists out there who want to know what it is you do, what would you say?
So I'm a painter. I draw and paint and collage and these things. But I also I work back home and here teaching kids art, and also adults, because I also worked in a community, in a college teaching adult, like teachers training college. So I was teaching them also arts. When I came here, I had also the opportunity to work with kids, with adults, with seniors, with everybody. All ages.
It feels good. Now, one last question. I know there's a lot about food, and your name came up often. So can you just in a very short period tell us about just your experience in the kitchen making food? And I know that this is the time we can't make food together, so we just want to hear about what that was like.
Yeah, so I also worked with the kitchen, with the women's working iftar for kitchen. So we did fatayr, spinach fatayr. We made it was like a hub. We hummus, fatayr, lots of food, and then we had to serve the visitors who came to everybody who came to MABELLEarts. Serve the food, and it was really fun. And we also did art with the children at the same time, and music. We had music, and it was really beautiful iftars at Mabel Park. Yeah.
Well, Fatin, I'm telling you, the work that you and other community members did is still there. You could still feel the impressions when you talk to people in the park, when you look around at the park. I know you have big contributions there. So thank you so much for taking time to talk to us today.
You're welcome, Sergio.
Appreciate you so much. Everybody out there, make sure you go to the park, and you might spot some of her work and support her.
I have some of the work there, in the park. Okay.
Yeah.
You saw this donkey. This is mine. Because I love this donkey.
Okay, we're gonna go find the donkey at the park. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Fatin.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Next up, we're gonna go right into re-invite a lovely guest that was part of last week. She'll be a recurring guest, Egyptian singer, Maryem Tollar. Please, fire emojis, hand clap emojis. Everybody, make some noise.
Thank you, Sergio. So excited to be back here for this week with the theme of, I know it's memories of Ramadan, but this song is memories of a once in a lifetime trip that I took in 1996 to Syria, in Aleppo, Syria. I got my first Canada Council grant and got to go and study Sufi devotional love songs there. And I met the composer of this song. I actually feel emotional. I'm sorry. I met the composer of this song, Sheikh Sabri Mudallal, and he was a beautiful man. He was very, very old when I met him. And he, from like a very young age, would sing the call to prayer in the mosque across the street. And this is a song called Ahmed Ya Habibi. Ahmed is the name of the Prophet Muhammad in heaven. Sorry. Okay. And he's a friend to the strangers. This is a recurring line that comes in. Ya aun al gharibi, salam alaik. Ahmed, my beloved, peace be upon you. Friend to the strangers, peace be upon you. So, Ahmed ya habibi. أحمد يا حبيبي يا حبيبي سلام عليك يا عون الغريب سلام عليك أحمد يا حبيبي يا حبيبي سلام عليك يا عون الغريب سلام عليك يا عون الغريب يا أحمد يا حبيبي يا عون الغريب أحمد يا حبيبي سلام عليك سلام عليك أمن وسلام سلام عليك دينك الإسلام سلام عليك أمن وسلام سلام عليك دينك الإسلام سلام عليك يا عون الغريب أحمد يا حبيبي يا عون الغريب يا أحمد يا حبيبي سلام عليك سلام عليك أحمد يا حبيبي يا حبيبي سلام عليك يا عون الغريب سلام عليك أحمد يا حبيبي يا حبيبي سلام عليك يا عون الغريب سلام عليك يا عون الغريب يا أحمد يا حبيبي يا عون الغريب يا أحمد يا حبيبي سلام عليك سلام عليك نبدأ بالتوحيد سلام عليك نبدأ بالتمجيد سلام عليك نبدأ بالتوحيد سلام عليك نبدأ بالتمجيد Thank you so much. And thanking Sheikh Sabri Madallal for writing that beautiful song. Rest in peace.
Peace be upon him. Thank you so much, Maryem. Tollar, thank you so much. That was beautiful. Everybody in the chat is reacting with a lot of hearts and a lot of claps, because I think that's where that song took us. And thank you so much, Maryem, for sharing some of the context behind that. May peace be upon him. Now, the music always gets me in a little mood, you know, in a little vibe, and I want to be around people. So why don't we go take a trip? Once again, it's the same table, the largest, smallest, or the longest, smallest iftar table. But this time, oh, I'm sorry, guys. I keep doing this. I keep messing up the order. It's okay. But it has to do with the pantry, okay? So the way I'm going to switch on that is to say that in the pantry, which is run every week by MABELLEarts, you know, we've gone through even more challenges this week with another lockdown. No. So with this lockdown, we still have to go out there and provide and help people provide food. So the trip is not to the longest, smallest iftar table. First, we're gonna go down to the pantry. And this is scored by Brenna MacCrimmon. So please enjoy the trip. Welcome back, everybody. That was an amazing video. Thank you for showing us how the park is changing during this time. We got some YouTube comments. So inspiring, breathtaking. It was a great video. Thank you so much for that. And again, it just makes me want to be around people and wish I was at a big, long iftar table with crowds, with people I don't know, feeding each other, the smells, the sound, the feelings, the words. Why don't we go down to this mini iftar table and let's see what's going on there? Let's see what's different from last week. If you see something different, type it up on the YouTube and let's go. And from my friend Kingy and I, we're gonna go take a trip down to the longest and smallest iftar table. Enjoy. Did you guys see me down there? I was down there beside that guy who was sitting on the chair looking tired, like he ate too much at iftar. That was me. That was me around those parts. Thank you guys so much. That was beautiful. You know, we want to move into our main stage story now. We did this last week. And again, it's just a more exploration of the stories that make up of our community and shared by the members of the Arab Community Center of Toronto and our Mabel Ave community around the weekly theme of memories of Iftar. So it brought up a range of stories around parents, what shows you watch, what sounds you heard. So what you're about to see is stories gathered and translated by Abir Abuel Sadat, additional translation by Fatin Tubasi, performed by Afsaneh Zamani and Annie Katsura Rollins, stories read by Maryem Tollar, puppet illustrations by Banafshe Erfanian, and puppets built by Sequoia Erickson. Everybody in YouTube, everybody out there, enjoy our stories.
Memories of Iftar. Abir from Egypt. In the old days, on the night of the 29th of Sha'ban, the month before Ramadan, there was someone responsible, usually a sheikh with knowledge in astronomy, who climbs to the highest point in that area that has hopefully a clear sky to have a vision of the hilal, the moon crescent. If he sees the hilal, he announces the beginning of the new month, Ramadan. Until now, we still wait for this announcement on the TV, and friends and family send greeting messages to each other as soon as they hear this announcement. Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak, and Happy Ramadan. Sharbano from Oman. Come and visit our neighborhood before the iftar. You will know what each one's cooking from the amazing smell. You can distinguish every recipe, especially because you are fasting and your sense of smell is more sensitive. When you are fasting, you feel that you want to eat everything then. اللي الصيام خاطره في كل الأشياء بس أول ما نشرب مية خلاص. Every time I see the sunset, it reminds me of Ramadan, and I crave dates and milk. Also, watching and listening to Ramadan songs on the TV. Such beautiful memories. Hanan from Syria. Just before the iftar, we are keen on a tradition called sikba. It means sharing a dish or two with neighbors or close friends. This goes under the category of charity and feeding someone who is fasting and is very rewarded from God. We also used to send these dishes to the soldiers that had to stay at the checkpoints and couldn't leave for iftar. There is also a very known tradition, the Ramadan canon. They used to use it in the old times and still until now. It was a real canon. It is in my memory since childhood. As soon as I hear it, it means we can start to attack the food. في شيء كمان تقاليد اسمها مدفع الإفطار موجود بأغلب البلدان وهو مدفع حقيقي مرتبط بطفولتنا. عندما نسمع ضربات المدفع معناها أوكي اهجموا على الأكل أتاك. براء from Iraq. We used to always respect our grandparents, especially our grandmother, Bibi, as she was the one who had the money. My grandmother used to tell us, I will give a money reward to the one who will fast Ramadan. We used to compete together on fasting, praying, respecting others, and try to stay like this till the end of Ramadan to win the reward. My grandma used to tell us that the bird comes every night and whispers into my ear everything you did today, and if you have been committed or not. These values that we have learned were much more precious for us than any other rewards. تقول العصفورة تيجي تقول لي بالليل أنتم التزمتم أو لا. أكو مبادئ حلوة برمضان بغني عن المصاري. إفراح from Ethiopia. I remember Laylat al-Qadr from the Quran and how special and holy a night it is. So when I hear Ramadan, I remember forgiveness from Allah and being kind to others. I also remember when we fast in the old days and we feel hungry and thirsty. I remember the poor people and how they must feel. Before the COVID, we used to go to the mosque. There were so many people. We bring food and we pray together and talk together. Yasmin from Egypt. Some people return late from work at the iftar time or even later, and you will always see some young men from the neighborhood who are waiting in the street 15 minutes before iftar and until after iftar for another 15 or 30 minutes to give these late people dates, juice, or a snack, even if you're walking or driving. A funny situation is when you find one of these young men standing in front of the passing car and saying to the driver, "You can hit me with your car, but please take the iftar snack first." The beauty of this tradition is that everyone in the neighborhood from any religion participates, and not only Muslims. Nahid from Syria. My father was a diplomat and very organized. So is our home, and we always had a system in life. So Ramadan preparations were part of this. My father used to ask us to think of a schedule during Ramadan, and he always leaves us the freedom to choose whatever we like, such as reading a story, watching a TV show, or reading the Quran. But we all have to agree at the end to spend some time with our dad, and he would be the one who will decide the schedule for that time before Iftar. We used to sit together and say prayers and reflect about God and feel thankful and grateful. And my father tells us a story about Ramadan and our ancestors and teaches us the benefits and philosophy behind it. Now when I remember it, I really miss these days. Besides the Ramadan spirit that gives you the feeling of love and intimacy, I used to feel the beauty of the gathering within these moments, even if I felt hungry or thirsty. These warm feelings were stronger. وأنا بتذكر أحن لهذه الأيام غير إنها جو رمضان يعطيك الألفة والمرحبة، بل كنت أحس بالفعل باللمة الحلوة برمضان من خلال هالشيء، حتى لو جعانة وتعبانة شوية، بس المشاعر الدافية طاغية.
Thank you so much, everybody. Wow, that was just put me in a very, very peaceful place. Thank you so much for everybody who put that together. And we see on the YouTube that everybody kind of felt the same way. We have hearts. So thank you for that. I like the competing to fast, competing to be generous. I know competition is not always good for family, but competing to be generous and giving charity is something that I really like about this time, you know, because everybody just looks, instead of looking at what they can take, we look at what we can give. I also got on the YouTube chat a reminder that today is the 10th day and 11th night of Ramadan of 2021. So to everyone fasting, you know, I send you all my love. So you keep going. May God accept your prayers. I'd like to also say hello to my friend Elizabeth. My friend Elizabeth, who said hi to me personally on the YouTube. Hi, Elizabeth. I look forward to chatting with you again soon in the park, because you're a good talker. I want to talk to you more. I love Elizabeth. Thank you so much. And now we go back to another one of our wonderful artists. You heard her last week. I'm looking forward to what she has this week with music from the Turkey and the Balkans. You can find her music at greengoatmusic.ca. And I mean, she won't tell you, but she's famous. Everybody, a round of applause. Bring your hearts out for Brenna MacCrimmon.
Thank you. Oh boy, it's just been so beautiful. I spent about 5 years living in Turkey, and I got to have many Ramazans with my friends and teachers there. And yeah, that moment at the big table is always a special one. But so is the music that would be on the TV. It would be music that you wouldn't hear the rest of the year. And there were it was just lovely to tune in. And I wanted to do a piece that's reminiscent of that. This is a very, very famous Turkish ilahi, a Turkish hymn. And it was written by Sultan Murat III in the 16th century. So the sultans were not just sort of leaders and battle people. They also were poets and musicians and things like that. And he says, "Wake up, my eyes." And he doesn't just mean his sleepy eyes. He also means the eye hears and the eye hear. And he says, you know, life is short. We must get up and sing like the birds in the morning and make our prayers. And he says, because he's a sultan, he says, you know, don't be deceived by this world around us. Don't think that just because you're sitting on the throne that this world belongs to you. So wake up and yeah, I'll see what I can do. You shouldn't really translate these things, is kind of what I think, but that's a sort of a little piece of it. Okay, here we go.
Uyan ey gözlerim gafletten uyan. Uyan uykusu çok gözlerim uyan. Azrail'in kastı canadır inan. Uyan ey gözlerim gafletten uyan. Uyan uykusu çok gözlerim uyan. Seherde uyanırlar cümle kuşlar. Dilu dilerince tesbihe başlar. Tevhid eyler dallar, taşlar, ağaçlar. Uyan ey gözlerim gafletten uyan. Uyan uykusudur gözlerim uyan. Bu dünya fanidir, sakın aldanma. Mağrur olup da cutahta dayanma. Yedi iklim benimle güvenme. Uyan ey gözlerim gafletten uyan. Uyan uykusu çok gözlerim uyan. Benim Murat kulun suçumu affet. Suçum bağışlayıp günahım refet. Resulun sancağı dibinde haşret. Uyan ey gözlerim gafletten uyan. Uyan uykusu çok gözlerim uyan.
Wow. Thank you, Brenna. That was beautiful. As always, makes me want to go back to Istanbul, like ASAP. and yeah, it's really divine music. It's celestial music is what I call that. It's just so beautiful. As a rapper, I know because we're a little aggressive. So I enjoyed that so beautifully. Another part of that I enjoyed this week is we had a youth workshop, right? The youth are so important to the community. And I was so lucky to meet some of them. And I see some of you guys on the chat. Thank you for coming through. And we made stuffed grape leaves and lemonade. And it was amazing. But in order to get the ingredients to everybody, and in order to make this happen in the smooth way that it did happen, it took some adventure and it took a lot of work from your neighborhood friendly Rafia and Tasmin, who you may know, who did a lot of work. So take a look at their journey and what they had to go through to get the food to everybody.
Hello. Hey guys. So now we're filming. We got our 15 cans of grape leaves. Now we have to go get some olive oil.
Did we get the 3-liter oil?
Look, it's as big as our head. Hey guys, so I'm checking in again. Now we got a lot of what we needed, and now we're getting dill. I think this is dill, right?
Yep.
This is dill. Next update. Now we're getting the beef. We're getting 8.5 pounds bags. So this is the ground beef before we put it in the bag. This is what it looks like before, after. Fun times.
It's so fun.
Now we're done with the shopping. And we have everything we need. Look at this cutie. And now we're gonna go home and pack all this.
Hello.
Yay!
I am pouring sugar into these. A cup of sugar for a lemonade. Something that I learned today. In one 2 kg bag, you can make 10 cups of sugar. I did not know that. There's something very pleasing about pouring sugar. Now, it's time for the rice. So it's 1 3/4 of a cup. Number 1 done. Now we're gonna pack the lemons and the onions. So we have a bunch of lemons here, a bunch of onions.
Yo.
Would you like to see the bags we're packing it in? Woo! Wait. Whoops. So we started our deliveries. First off is someone in the neighborhood. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're allowed to say names. Look at all our packages. Woo! We're so excited. We're jamming to One Direction.
As you always should.
We are halfway done our deliveries and now we have the other half to do. And then we're gonna break our fast today. Woo! We are still on our way for our last delivery.
It is 8:44.
It is 8:44. We did take a break so we can break our fast. We ate lots of food.
We ate too much food.
Too much. And now we're on our way to our last run. And then our day is complete. Woo!
They did the work. Round of applause for Raz and Taz. Thank you so much. And we have another workshop coming up every Tuesday, 4:30 to 6:30 if you want to join, if you know anybody who would join. Just jumping into the last musical spot of the night, I'd like to now combine and reintroduce Brenna and Maryem together. And they both belong to the world famous quartet Turkwaz. They've gifted us so much beauty this evening, and they're going to take us away. So once again, welcome back, Maryem and Brenna.
Wow, Maryem, I know the song that you're going to play, and I wish we can sing it together with the whole ladies, but I'm just going to be sitting here enjoying every moment of your voice and your beautiful canoe for this next song.
Thanks, Brenna. Yes, I'm playing the same instrument as Brenna, and we do this song with Turkwaz with beautiful harmonies, so I hope you get to hear that one day. And it's a Sufi devotional love song I learned in Syria, and it's saying, the beloved visited me in the garden, and he filled my cup. And so I think it's so appropriate right before sunset. زارني المحبوب يا عيني في رياض القاس زارني المحبوب يا عيني في رياض القاس روق المشروب وملال الكاس روق المشروب وملال الكاس. And I'll leave it at that so we can light the lanterns.
That was, wow, that was so moving. Thank you, Maryem and Brenna, so much. I just want to listen to your voices all night, really. We're going to cap off the night with our traditional lantern raising, which we wish we could do it all together. And that's Michael and Leah, once again in collaboration with Shadowland and the listening room members. And let us go down to the park. Let us go down together. Let's walk and let's meet down there and let's raise the lanterns. My cup is full. I hope yours is too. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Everybody who chatted up on YouTube, please send your messages. Stay communicating with each other. Just the ending shout outs to Toronto Arts Council, Ontario Arts Council, Canada Council for the Arts, and the Government of Canada, especially the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, and Toronto Pearson Foundation. To everybody involved in this show today, to everybody fasting out there, the community, we wish you a beautiful, beautiful evening, beautiful Ramadan Iftar as we break fast together. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We love you. Oh. There we go. That's more like it. Thank you so much, everybody.